Greetings, God bless. So, the past month I was having my computer repaired and having to we go through all these delays. And I bought a boombox that was very dusty. It was at a thrift shop. I got it for $3. And unfortunately, like I was cleaning the inside and it was so dusty that um, it would only play like a couple tracks at a time. So I ended up just listening to the radio. And it's been years, like when I was a kid, maybe, I don't know, 30 years ago, 35 years ago, I was listening to the radio, talk radio, or just listening to music. And I didn't realize how many commercials and how annoying commercials were. And maybe they weren't as bad in the 70s and 80s as it is now, because it would be like when I was listening to talk radio, the guy would talk for an hour and there would be like 5 to 10 minutes of the speaker at times would talk for a minute, and then there would be like 5 minutes of commercials, and then he'd come back and talk for like a minute, maybe 3 minutes or something, and then like 10 minutes of commercials, and it'd be like the same commercial over and over again. So it was very like, I'm somebody that does need something going on. I need some intellectual stimulation for my mind to just hold on to, because if I don't, all these difficult memories and just bad things that happened that I wasn't able to navigate this week, like it just haunts me. So, I'm just like, oh, let me learn about medieval history or something like that. And so I was unable to get my CD player to work more than a couple tracks at a time. And so I had like the cassette player was also super dusty. And so that started damaging the cassettes I had just bought at the thrift shop. But like, it was a month of just frustration. Um, just trying to be able to control what I was listening to, because I was always having to listen to these insurance ads, you know, always. So I was listening to a lot of Christian radio talk show, and like every 2 minutes somebody's asking for money. Every couple minutes it was is we'll send you something for a generous donation of $35 a month or something like that. And I'm like, so the thing is, there's elderly people, there's mentally challenged people, cognitively impaired people who are, don't have a computer, are not listening to CD players now because they're just not around. And how like it just seems like people are really vulnerable, whoever's listening to the radio, because you are asked for money, what, like maybe 50 times an hour on Christian radio. And you know they're trying to sell you stuff on mainstream radio like 50 times an hour. You know so let's say there's an EMP or something like that. Like, let's say that this system goes down. Like, you need to have some sort of backup. I don't know if you need to have a musical instrument around. I mean, I did have books, so I was reading, but I think I'll need to have, like, somebody who will read aloud or something like that, or maybe I will have to read to myself aloud. I didn't try that, so that's something. But yeah, it was a painful experience, and I'm kind of embarrassed that it was so hard. Um, but I think it was also that I was having to listen to commercials. Like, I was listening to commercials. There were more commercials than content on the radio. Like 90% is commercials on the radio, and like 10% content, maybe 15% content. And no wonder people don't listen to the radio anymore. It's really annoying. And like, are people buying this stuff? Like, who's buying stuff, from these radio advertisements? Or maybe it's just a psychological operation to annoy people. Because I do think our culture is like this death by a thousand paper cuts. It's like, let's make you sick and want to kill yourself, by creating all this friction, by messing up with your telephone and messing up crashing your computer and, interfering with your traffic, being able to drive around and interfering with your shopping experience by having the music so loud. I mean, like 20 years ago, it was not such a hassle to exist as it is now, and um, maybe, I mean, I do think like people are like decision makers are over medicated and psychopathic, and they don't care about the human experience because they're just going to go and do some cocaine and deal with like have traffic some people for their own pleasure or something like that. um, because like this world that we're being like forced to endure is not humane for us. uh, and and I think that is deliberate. I think they want everybody to be suffering so much in the body that people will load their consciousness to the metaverse, and they'll be told, oh, everything's going to be so much better in the metaverse. You'll just be like passed out here like in the Matrix, and you're just going to become a battery for the Matrix. And the thing is, like this, that's very satanic because what all these evildoers, people who are like, oh, just do a little drugs. Oh, you're just going to have an operation. We'll just give you a bunch of drugs that will make you addicted, and oh, it's not going to be a problem. And then you become this addict for life or whatever. Or you overcame your addiction and then it starts up. Like I went to like when I was in 12-step meetings, it was a cliche how somebody went to the doctor. The person had just recovered from drugs and alcohol, and the doctor got them hooked right back on. The person was trying to be responsible. They went and got dental work and got them hooked right back on there. And when I was getting an allergy test, and so they did like 60 different pricks on my arm. And then the lady, she was very nice, nurse was like, okay, so which drug would you want? What pain killer would you like? Would you like codeine or whatever? I don't know the terms. And I'm like, I don't want any. And she was like, what? No, you can have this one or that one, or. And I'm like, oh, so she wants to be the drug dealer. And that's what I realized about medicine. Medicine wants you addicted. It wants you helpless to them. So anyway, um, what do you guys think? Uh, so, anyways, well, I think so. I just think like record players might be good to have around. And I'm thinking of getting a portable CD player that works on a AA battery. And I've even thought about getting like a Radio Shack cassette player. Um, so, so if you're like me, and you need media, you need music, you need some background noise, or some. It's not just background noise because I have background noise here, but you need something for your mind to process throughout your day. You know, the power could go out. Like I hear that there's all these infrastructure hacking warfare going on all the time. So if the electricity goes out, you want to have your media that's battery operated. And I'm sure there's people who are up on technology more, and so they're going to have their cell phone battery banks and all this music loaded to their cell phone. So that's great. I'm a bit more old school, but yeah, I just really found it to be tough. Oh, I also do think the old Apple iPods, like I had a couple for years, and those were really helpful too, because it was small and convenient, and it was just always there, whether I wanted to listen to music or an audiobook. So, yeah, but I do think like, a CD player and a cassette player, I think those are good options too because CDs and cassettes, you can find some interesting ones at the thrift shop. So, thanks for watching and let me know what you think. Bye bye and God bless.